In the previous lecture, we completed the instruction set of 8085 microprocessor. Here we will study what are the instruction formats and addressing modes. So before studying instruction formats, we have studied all the instructions of 8085. Why? Because it becomes now easy to means understand that how instruction formats work and in what category of addressing mode those instructions should fall. Okay, so that's why uh, in sequential manner we should firstly study instruction formats and then addressing modes. After that we should study instructions. But if we study addressing modes and instruction formats before studying the instruction, we would not be able to get the idea in a very clear manner. So that's why we studied the instructions firstly, and now the idea would be very much clear that how these instructions work and what are the means addressing modes for these all these instructions. So starting with the instruction formats, the instruction formats of 8085, each instruction format of 8085 and data format has specific information fields. These fields of instructions are called elements of instructions. Okay, so one instruction comprises of number of fields. These fields are, we have already discussed this also, but these fields are operation code. Okay, so first of all, the first field in an instruction is the operation code, which is called as opcode itself. And what is that opcode? It is the this operation code field in the instruction actually specifies the operation to be performed or action to be performed. So, in general, the operation is specified by the binary code. Hence, the name operation code has been provided here, or simply opcode. Code means it has been coded in some language. It is coded in binary language. That's why it is named as opcode. For example, in 8085 microprocessor, operation code for add B instruction, let's see, add B instruction is add B. The operation code for add B instruction is 80H, 80H. So this is actually the operation code. So an instruction consists of these three fields, out of which first is the opcode, second is source or destination operand. Okay, the source destination operand field directly specifies the source or destination operand for the instruction. Okay, in the instruction format of 8085, the instruction, let's suppose move a comma b, has b register contents as the source and a is taken as the destination register here, and these two registers a and b are known as the operands. Okay, because move a comma b instruction do not have any direct data provided, it do not have any direct address provided from where we have to get the data. We have to copy the data from the source register b into this destination register a. So that's why these are the operands here. Okay, third is the source operand address. We know that the operand or the operation specified by the instruction may require one or more operands. The source operand may be in 8085 register, it may be in the memory. Okay. Many times the instruction format of 8085 specifies the instruction of the source operand so that the operand or operands that can be accessed and operated by 8085 are according to the instruction. For example, let's suppose we are taking one instruction here add m. So what is the source operand address here? The source operand address here is specified by the HL register pair contents. Okay, so the address of the source, we already know that one of the operands has already been stored in accumulator here, because for add operation we require two data. So one data is stored in accumulator. What is the second source that has been stored in the address specified by the HL register pair? So it will provide us one address, 16-bit address. The CPU will jump over to that address and will locate data and fetch that data to get added with the contents of A register. Okay, so this is source operand address. So this is how these instructions are means instruction formats are provided. So instruction formats are generally have these three fields. There can also be the destination address or destination operand. Okay, because let's suppose we use one instruction INR B. This increment B instruction, what it does, it increments the contents which are stored in the register provided with this instruction. So it will take the source contents from this register B, and the result of the operation will also be stored again in this register B. So what we can say that from this, that the source register is also the B register. On the other hand, the destination register has also been taken as B register for this instruction. So this is how these formats, means instruction formats, are provided. How? What are the elements of these instructions? Now, categories of instruction formats. There are three categories of instruction formats, out of which the very first category is that we are having 1 byte instructions. Okay, we are having 1 byte instructions. What is the meaning of 1 byte? That these instructions are specified by only single byte data, single byte contents. So if a full instruction is if a full instruction is a single byte content, that means it is a 1 byte instruction. We do not need any operand to specify with this instruction. Means in 1 byte, whole instruction will be executed. So for storage of these kind of instructions, we need only one memory location. We require only single memory location. Okay. For example, move A comma B. Move the contents of B register into A register. What is the description for this? That this instruction will copy the contents of B register into A register, and the contents of B register will remain unaltered. What is the operand for this instruction? It is 78H. Okay. Although the microprocessor understands the binary language, but for programmer, this binary language is coded into the hexadecimal language, so that the larger numbers or the larger number of bits can also be uh, accommodated in a smaller using a smaller hexadecimal number. So as it is a 1 byte code here, that's why it falls under the category of 1 byte instruction. There are a lot of instructions which fall in the category of 1 byte instruction. For example, all the instructions move A comma B, all the move instructions. Similarly, I N R B. INX instructions, RLC, RAL, halt instruction. There are number of instructions where no operand is specified as address or some immediate data is not specified with that instruction. That kind of instructions are under the category of 1 byte instruction. So there are a lot of examples you can write for 1 byte instructions. Similarly, there are 2 byte instructions where one opcode is provided. With that opcode, we need some operand to be specified, some 8-bit operand to be specified. For example, MVIB, 02H. So here MVIB, the opcode for this instruction is 06H, and this 02 is the immediate data because this I has been provided in the mnemonic. This I itself means immediate instruction. Immediate data is required to be provided with this instruction. So immediate 8-bit data has been provided with this instruction. So 06H and 02H. So how many locations we require to store this kind of instruction? We require two locations. Let's suppose this location is 0001H, this is 0002H. So 06H will be stored in this location and 02H will be stored in the next location. Okay. So these kind of instructions fall in the category of 2 byte instructions. So you can take a lot of examples of these kind of instructions. For example, ADI 56H, contents of accumulator are ended with 56H data. This instruction is also a 2 byte instruction. Because this ADI is having some opcode, you do not need to remember that opcode. You can specify these opcodes. You can study these opcodes from the datasheet of 8085. Okay, and secondly, we require to store this 56H data also. So this instruction also require two memory locations to store. That's why these are called as 2 byte instructions. Third category is 3 byte instructions, which require one opcode. So 1 byte will be required for the operation code, that is the action to be taken. Okay, which action that instruction would perform, that is specified by this opcode. Secondly, higher 8-bit data is specified by this operand, which is the middle part of this instruction in the format. Third byte also specifies the lower byte of the address specified. For example, LXI 5600H, LXI sorry B, 5600H. What this instruction does actually, it copies this immediate contents 5600H into BC register pair. This B means BC register pair here. X means extended or indirect. So extended means this BC is required to be extended. What is the meaning of this B if it is extended? Extended means BC register pair. If I would write here LXI D, what it means? X means extended, I means immediate. So immediate data, 16 bit of data is required. 16-bit operand is required. So this X means extended. So for D, it extended means DE register pair. So what this instruction will do, suppose 5600H data has been provided with this instruction, the higher order data will be copied into the higher order register, lower order contents will be copied into the lower order register. Similarly, one another example has been given here, jump 6200. For JMP, for this mnemonic, the opcode is C3H, second byte is 62, third byte is 00. But in the sequential manner, you always have to remember that the second byte which is considered by any of the instruction in 8085 is always the lower order byte. So if suppose this instruction is required to be executed 6200H, so whenever this instruction is stored somewhere, so whenever we have to fetch this instruction from the memory location, so first of all this lower order byte will be fetched, then this higher order byte will be fetched. Okay, so to fetch here, firstly 00 will be fetched, then 6200 will be fetched. Similarly, whenever we have to store this instruction in the memory location, the lower order byte is stored firstly, higher order byte would be stored at the second time. So this is means the 3 byte instruction. Similarly, we can take another example, LHLD 2000H. What this instruction does? This instruction copies the contents of this location 2000H into the L register and copies the contents of 2001H location into the H register. Okay, so here also we require 3 bytes to store this instruction. LHLD is one opcode. Then this 00 would be stored in the next location. Then 20 will be stored next to that location. So this instruction also require 3 bytes, means 3 locations. Now what are the opcode formats of 8085? What is the meaning of opcode formats of 8085? See here, 8085 microprocessor has 8 opcodes. Okay, the opcode is unique for each instruction and data format of 8085 and contains the information about the operation, register to be used, memory to be used, etc. Okay, so which register is to be used, which operation is being performed, what kind of memory is being used, all that information is specified by the opcode, that is the unique part, means the code that is the unique part of any of the instruction. So 8085 identifies all operations registers flags with some specified code, and that code has already been specified by the designer of this 8085 microprocessor. For example, all internal registers are identified as shown in the tables here. So look at these tables for the time being. Okay. So why actually these register codes are required? So please try to understand the concept that 8085 microprocessor sends out, we already know that it sends out 16-bit address to access 64 kilobyte of locations. Okay, so we already have 65536 locations in 8085 and it has 16 bit of address which is required to be sent so as to access a particular location. Okay, but for the convenience we indicate memory address using only 4 hexadecimal digits that we already know. Okay, similarly for convenience we indicate registers as A B C D uh, H and L. This is only for the convenience. In general, in actual, all these locations, all these registers are specified are mean specified in terms of binary language, that is in terms of zeros and ones, which is the machine language. But for the convenience of the programmer, these are specified in terms of these characters or in terms of hexadecimal digits. Okay, because in reality the microprocessor has to specify these registers using zeros and ones only. So microprocessor can only understand the language of zeros and ones, that's why these are required to be specified in terms of zeros and ones, that's why this table has been provided here. Okay, so with only 7 registers in 8085, A B C D E H L, 3 bits are I think enough to specify a register, because with 3 bits we can specify 2 raised to the power 3, that is 8 registers itself. So the 3 register codes for These registers of 8085 has been provided in this table here, for which for specifying B register the code is 000, that is 0. In general, if I decode it and code it using hexadecimal number, it is 0. This C is specified as 001, D is specified as 010, E 011, H 100, L 101, M. This M is specified as, for example, I am using here move A comma M. So this A would be specified as 111. This M would be specified as 110. Okay, getting now how a register is specified, or how a memory location specified by HL register pair, that is capital M, is specified. Similarly, how these register pairs are specified, these because we are having only three register pairs, so we require two binary bits or two codes, two bits to specify these three registers, that is 2 raised to power 2 is equal to 4. So there can be four combinations. So to specify BC register pair, we use code 00. For DE, we use 01. For HL, we use 10. Okay. For specifying stack pointer. Okay. For specifying stack pointer or flag register, we use 11. So look at the next slide now. Let us suppose that we have to use this instruction MVI A comma data. So what will be the opcode for MVI A comma data here? So that opcode will look like this: 00. This DDD means destination register. This A, what is the code for A? Code for A is 111. Okay. So what it becomes from this: 00, 111, 111 and 110. 110 is for immediate data. ठीक है, any data which we are specifying here, we have to use this code 110. So what is the opcode for MVIA instruction? You can find out the opcode from this. The opcode would be 3 8 plus 4 plus 2. 8 plus 4 plus 2, that is 14. 14 is equal to E. So 3EH is the opcode for MVI A comma data. Similarly, what is the opcode for LXI? Let us suppose B comma immediate data. The opcode is 00. This DD defines the register pair. What is the register pair code here? For BC it is 00, DE it is 01, for HL it is 10. Getting? So for BC it is 00. Okay. For BC it is 00, because only two bits are required to specify a register pair code. And what is the uh, code for this data with LXI instruction? 0001. 0001. So what will be the opcode for this instruction LXI RP, B comma data? The opcode for this will be 01H. This is the opcode. And to store data, and this data will be 16-bit data here, because we are using extended version here. X means extended or indirect. So B means BC register pair, and in BC register pair we can store 16 bit of data. So that's why data required here would be a 16-bit data. So this 01 is the opcode. 16-bit data would require 2 bytes. So 1 byte and 2 bytes here. This instruction would be 3 byte instruction. So this is how actually the codes has been these opcodes has been specified by the designer of this 8085 microprocessor. So there is a specific means criteria for getting the opcode for any of the instructions. So these opcodes has not been randomly provided by the designer of the 8085, but some specific criteria has been set by the designer. Then and then only these codes have been designed. Okay. Now, what are the addressing modes of 8085 microprocessor? Addressing modes means how the operand is specified in any instruction. How the operand is specified in the instruction. The way of that is called as the addressing mode. What is the meaning? The way of specifying. The way of specifying the operand in the instruction is called the addressing mode. For example, with move instruction, the operand is provided in the registers. The operands are provided inside the registers. Similarly, with MVI instruction, one of the operand is provided in one register, and second data is provided with the instruction as the immediate data, 8-bit data. Okay, so this is how these operands are provided. With move instruction, we require to provide both the operands inside that of the registers. With MVI instruction, we require one of the operands to be stored in any of the registers, and second data is provided with the instruction as the immediate data. Similarly, with let us suppose this RLC instruction, we do not need any operand to be specified with the instruction, but the operand on which this operation is performed, rotate left operation is performed, that is specified inside the accumulator. Similarly, with halt instruction, we do not need to provide any operand because operation is used to stop the operation, used to stop the current operation of the microprocessor completely. So this is how different operands are provided. So depending upon how these operands are specified with that instruction, some addressing modes has been specified by the designer here. Means all the 74 instructions will fall in one of these addressing modes. One of these addressing modes. And in 8085, we only have 5 addressing modes. Out of which the very first addressing mode is immediate addressing mode. Okay, now you already know what is the meaning of immediate. Immediate means if some immediate data has been provided with the instruction, that kind of instructions falls under the category of immediate addressing mode instruction. So whenever you are means going to see this kind of instruction MVI B comma 50H LXI B comma 5000H, this I, whenever this I has been provided with the instruction, what it means that this is immediate kind of instruction. ADI, SBI, SUI. Okay, all these instructions fall under the category of immediate addressing mode. So, as the data to be moved is immediately after the opcode in the instruction, this kind of addressing is called as immediate addressing mode. Second category is register addressing mode. So, very simply, as the name implies, if the opcodes has been provided inside the registers, as in move A comma B, move L comma H, move C comma D. All these instructions where the operands are specified inside the registers, these kind of these kind of instructions are under the category of register addressing mode. So as in the previous example, move A comma B indicates that the contents of B register have to be moved to the register A. It does not directly say that 25H has to be moved. The instruction only provides the address of the data. In this case, the address is the register B, provided in the opcode using 3 bits. This kind of addressing where data is specified in the register is called a register addressing mode. Okay. Third type of addressing is absolute addressing. It is also called as direct addressing. So addressing and direct. This is consist of two terms: direct addressing. Direct means if direct address has been provided with any instruction. So how many instructions you have seen till now where you have seen the direct address? We have recently seen one instruction, call 5000H. Direct address has been provided with it. ठीक है, LHLD 2000H, jump 6000H, okay, LDA 2390H. These kind of instructions where direct 16-bit address is provided with the instruction fall under the category of absolute addressing mode or direct addressing mode. ठीक है, so you do not have to confuse between absolute or direct. Absolute is also mean direct addressing. Okay, so here no register is provided but direct address is provided with the instruction. Fourth is indirect register indirect addressing. For example, move A comma M. In the previous case we have seen move A comma B, which fall under the category of register addressing mode, because the data is directly provided inside the registers. But here in case of register indirect, one of the operand is provided in the register and second operand is provided indirectly. So this M means HL register pair. So the data has been provided with the instruction itself but indirectly. For example, LDAXB, load accumulator indirect with BC register pair content address. So this X itself means indirect. So where we find this X at the last of this mnemonic, X as the last character here of the mnemonic on the LSB side, then it itself means that it is in the category of register indirect addressing. ठीक है. Also, there are some other instructions which fall under this category, like move A comma M, because one of the operand has been provided indirectly here. ठीक है. So there are lot of instructions which again fall under this category. For example, STAX D, move the contents of the accumulator into The memory location specified by DE register pair. So this kind of instruction is also under register indirect addressing mode. The fifth, last but not the least, is implied addressing, or it is sometimes called as implicit addressing. One and same thing. Implied addressing is that addressing where no operand is provided with the instruction, where it has been written none. For example, RAL, and the operand here is none. So where no operand is provided with the instruction, whether inside any register, whether as memory, or whether as data or address, then those kind of instructions fall under the category of implicit or implied addressing mode. For example, XCHG, SPHL, okay, halt, CMA, all these kind of instructions where no operand is provided. RIM, SIM, we recently studied that no operand is provided with these instructions. All these instructions where no operand is provided with them fall under the category of implied addressing mode. Okay, so this was all about the addressing modes. If you have doubt regarding this, you can ask me here.